Welcome, everyone, to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're continuing our episodic review of Star Wars The Skeleton Crew with Season 1, Episode 7, We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble. Spoiler, they're not.
Talk about the most misleading title ever.
Yeah, and just this whole episode, too. It's like, I was telling my wife just a little bit ago before we got on, it's like, this is frustrating because this episode should have been like episode 3. Like, I feel like, ideally, and I know I'm a fucking broken record, but this should have been an hour and a half, like a traditional feature-length movie, 2 hours tops, or at this point, like a 4-point miniseries. Like, there's no fucking reason for it to be this long.
Yeah. There's a lot that bothers me about this episode. There's a couple things I liked. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't hate this one as much as the other episodes.
In the same way that last episode, there's a lot I didn't like, but the crab guy I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's aspects of this show and the talent that goes into actually producing it and like stuff like that. I really genuinely appreciate and stuff, and I feel like my complaints about this show may drown out the fact that I'm not talking about the individual artistry. I'm talking about the narrative and the plot choices and contrivances and shit, which all goes into writing. And so
100%.
If we took the writers out of the equation, this is a good looking show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. The first couple episodes where it was really heavy on Atten didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt like Amblin.
Yeah.
Not even like an actual place, just California's or Amblin's version of California suburbs.
Right. It's like a set.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
This, like, ever since then, it has at least felt and looked somewhat Star Warsy. I mean, this episode in particular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end, but whatever.
I would never go that far. Wow.
I mean, not good. I'm just talking like a giant fucking warehouse.
Right. Yeah. We have our top men.
Yes.
On it. Top men. Yeah. I mean, the werewolf being capped point blank, brutal, awesome. The droid being capped point blank.
Okay. All right. So at first I was like, wow, actual stakes. And then it's like, wait, it's a droid. You can fix him. That's not that big of a deal. But yeah, werewolf getting popped in the face. That was like, all right, cool. We're finally getting somewhere.
Yeah.
At the penultimate episode.
It made me watching the droid's head hit the ground and then seeing the little like rat creature like screech at Jod. I was just like, you're the audience. You're the audience screaming at the TV going, what the fuck is going on? And you're like the rat that lives in the head. Like, I feel like that's how they see us. We're the rat living in the Star Wars head that we can't seem to get out of. Mm-hmm. And we're just yelling at this sort of amorphous Mickey Mouse controlling things. And I didn't even think I liked that little eye socket rat, but I love that eye socket rat because I feel like him.
I will say I was really happy that he only slightly nudged him with his foot versus squishing him. I legit thought he was going to squish him.
I did too.
We wouldn't have been, or I wouldn't have been doing episode 8 with you at that point. I wouldn't have even finished the fucking episode.
Fuck this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought that was great. And I do like seeing Jod, like, just, I'm done. I've had enough. You guys whine, you bitch. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I love
that was pretty damn good.
Now, for something that I don't like.
The rest of the episode?
How is there a sun? If the planet is covered in this barrier of controlled, created Jupiter-like storm mist, how the fuck is there a sun? Anywhere. They go through the mist and there's light as if there is like a tiny, tiny sun. But that's not the size of suns. Suns are magnitudes of a planet in scale.
Right.
You would not have that inside of your gas bubble.
Especially like it's it's not just a source of illumination, it's also a source of heat,
Yeah.
of radiation. Like, you wouldn't have the flora and fauna that you do unless it was all artificial, because there's no fucking sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I figured, okay, that's the atmosphere. I was not expecting it to be an actual, like, exoskeleton wrapped around a planet.
It was weird because going through looking at the satellites, it reminds me of our Operation Cinder conversation, because that's exactly what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than destroying the planet, it was just like creating this massive storm connection stuff. So I didn't mind that aspect, but like the fact that you can't hide a sun in it, you just can't hide a sun. Like, you need a sun, for fuck's sake. You have light. There has to be a source of light. It makes no sense, and it drove me nuts.
Yeah, same. It's like, this was a great example of how this show can be good if you don't think at all.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it was a full-turn mutiny of a full-turn mutiny between the pirates. Like, it was just like, look, no, we can get in there. Give me a ship. I'll go down there. He's like, no, I'll get one of my volunteers. And then they get destroyed. Let's get another ship. He's like,
right,
fuck that.
I don't understand that. It's like, why are you sending one of your boys that you actually like and respect and, you know, is on your side? Be like, oh, no, he can be cannon fodder, not this guy that I'm going to throw in a fucking airlock.
Yeah.
Like, what's the fucking point? You're already at the destination. All you got to do is figure out how to get in. It doesn't matter if he's there or not.
And why wouldn't you try to, like, bombard? If you get a ship in there that can see the satellites before you get blown up, because you have to be parallel to them for them to strike at you. At least that's what it showed. Well, then you can say, okay, here's the coordinates of satellite 1. Bombard it with your planetary lasers or whatever. That's gone. It breaks the chain. Or do a couple of them. It breaks the chain. Then you can go right in.
Right. Well, and especially because it's energy. You know, lightning is just essentially like plasma and stuff in the air.
Yeah.
That's what your shielding is for. Not physical blunt objects. It's for actual energy weapons.
Yeah.
Like, somebody shoots you with the fucking laser bolt. That's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, you crank your fucking shields up. You go in a little bit till you get some on screen. You pop them. You move to the next one until you clear that shit up enough to go through.
It's like a really good point that I didn't even consider when I was watching it. That's a big deal with the role-playing game too. Is like the traditional like blunt force firearms, like our slug throwers, as they call them, slug throwers. Our firearms, they're really dangerous because they can't have their energy diffused amongst armor or shielding or something. They just go straight in and cause like massive kinetic damage.
Yep.
Whereas lasers don't do that. And so, yeah, that would make perfect sense. Just use your fucking shields, man.
Yeah. So that was one thing that bothered me about that. Admittedly, really cool fucking scene.
Yeah.
Like, anything with space or you know, the ships and stuff, it's been fantastic. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Just no logic behind it.
No. So the very beginning, we get this nonsensical like relay race of a communication device that is ultimately revealed to float on its own, so you don't need to do a relay race.
Yeah.
Just hit the fucking on switch and it goes up in the air. You don't have to do the whole chase sequence.
That's the thing. It's like, you set it somewhere where the droids aren't going to find it, and then you guys disperse, and then guess what? The same thing's going to happen. They're going to pop you, but that shit's going to be fine. You're not going to drop it 20 fucking times.
I just feel like as soon as those droids were like, stop or we'll tase you, hit on. And then stop. It goes up in the air. You don't get tased. No harm, no foul. And, you're in the same exact position without getting your ass
ultimately, it didn't even fucking do anything except tell them,
there was no point.
Hey guys, this is and you should come home.
Yeah.
We can't tell you how to get in here, but you should come in here.
Find an emissary. What, is there like someone with a badge that says Old Republic emissary that I'm supposed to find? How the fuck are these kids supposed to find an Old Republic emissary?
Right.
And then I actually really did like the idea that once Jod got on planet, they assumed he was an emissary because he's in that ship, which, again, makes no sense why that ship is an emissary ship. It was the dick in a condom ship, like an episode ago. and now suddenly it's like this old Republic emissary.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, did they build the armor on top of it? But at that point, it's like,
For what?
why would they have built the armor on top of that
Yeah.
after they'd already landed planet side? Like,
none of it makes sense.
yeah, you have to do some major mental gymnastics for it to make any semblance of sense.
Yeah, because they haven't told us, we have to just make shit up. Like, oh well, it's because of that reason. And I'm sure they'll come up with some bullshit reason in the final episode, but I just don't care.
Yeah,
at all.
It doesn't matter.
It's as meaningless as that satellite breaking through the fucking barrier and telling the kids what to do, which doesn't help them at all, because if they're not right outside that fucking barrier, they can't hear it in the first place.
Right? Well, not only that, it's like, unless that fucking device is right in front of their ship, it doesn't matter, because guess what? That entire fucking disturbance field around the planet fucks up comms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was just useless.
So fucking dumb.
Totally pointless. By their own logic and rules, it was worthless.
Yeah.
Not us complaining, it's them.
100%. It's them, not us.
I mean, I say that about everything, but in this case, it's true.
And it's actually true for once.
For once. All right, the other thing that really drove me nuts. A captain can only be, according to the pirate code, in charge of one ship at a time. Oh, well, I claim this ship then. I claim Spaxies. Okay, we'll claim Spaxies then. What the fuck are you talking about? What kind of nonsense? A pirate can only control one ship? What kind of fucking bullshit?
To being an admiral? Yeah. An admiral controls an armada. None of that makes any fucking sense. Like,
and even the kid can just be like, I claim Spaxies. Fuck off.
Close enough. No, what?
So dumb.
Yeah.
So goddamn stupid. I was just like beside myself in that moment. I was just like, I hate this show so much. I wish I could cut its head off.
Agreed.
Like, I want to be a Jod right now and just end this bullshit right now.
Yeah.
And every fucking fanboy would just be crying in their soup. How could you not like this nonsense?
Right? This is Star Wars going back to kids. I hate that fucking shit.
That's never been the case.
Star Wars
going back to the kids.
Always been for kids.
Yeah.
God damn it.
100%. Just watch any one episode. It just hasn't talked down to them like this does.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, except for Resistance. But other than that.
No, I would honestly even say Resistance wasn't as bad because of the fact that it didn't try to say it was anything other than something for, kids that aren't in kindergarten yet while they're at home with their mothers during the day.
Latchkey kids.
Like,
yeah.
That's, yeah.
And then the kids are completely inconsequential to this entire story. As soon as John gets there, the droids are like, you are the emissary, let us take you to the riches. And he has a Scrooge McDuck moment. He's just like, these must be incredibly heavy metal alloy falling on his fucking noggin. But he's Scrooge McDuck. He doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
He'll swim
that shit drove me insane. I don't know if you saw I think it was like Screen Rant or something was posting shit about, like, oh, it's a nod to George Lucas's beginning of his career because they talk about, oh, yes, there's 1,139 of these vaults. So that means he's in vault 1138. It's like, fuck you. Like, that is so
it's the
goddamn
laziest,
stupid.
Most obscure
it's like, and quite frankly, I find it hard to believe anybody that would even catch that reference has ever even watched THX 1138.
Yeah.
I've watched it like 7 or 8 times, and I can't remember that fucking movie.
I've never once seen it.
It's a movie. It is definitely a movie.
Everyone like heralds it as like, oh, this is the beginning of Star Wars because he did it in college. Well, by that logic, anything anyone did before the thing that made them famous was a prelude to them being famous. That doesn't make it good.
Yeah.
It just means it was a stepping stone.
Exactly. Yeah, it feels like a college film. It's a good one.
Yeah.
From what I remember, which is none of it. But, whatever.
It's like Clive Barker's Salome. I remember, like, I owned this double feature of, it was like early college work that Clive Barker did for film with Doug Bradley. And Salome was one of the 2 short films on it. And I was like obsessed with it. I was like, this is amazing because it's Clive Barker's early work. And I'm like, just shy of like pulling my cock out, like jerking to it. And everyone I showed it to was just like, this really sucks. Like, why are you watching this? I'm like, it's Clive Barker's early work.
It's like, you just don't understand.
But it's still just not good. Like, I can objectively just admit, okay, it is his early work and it's exciting because he's experimenting with technique and stuff. But it's not good. It's like the fucking Lucas thing. It's just because he did it does not make it gold.
Yeah.
And we need to stop venerating these creators as if they're some sort of divine entity, like these droids do to Jod when he arrives as the emissary in this.
Yeah. Okay. The thing I don't understand is, like, are they paying off the emissaries like the mafia or something? Because last I checked, he didn't show up with anything. And it's like, usually if there's a trade, you go, oh, here are these resources you cannot get. I will take this resource I cannot get and go my own merry way.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we're just going to take you to the vault where all the gold is because...
I do kind of like the idea that this is a lost planet. Whatever protocols were set up happened arguably thousands of years before any of these people existed, any of these droids existed, anything. So this was set up in the Old Republic, supposedly. And so there was a protocol in place at that time where emissaries would come to the planet, they would pick up the gold, they would leave, some other product would then be delivered, and it would be a fair and equal exchange of goods, and then the universe would continue in harmony or whatever. But they had to hide it because it was the monetary faction of it. I like that idea. And I like the idea that time has gone by. The Old Republic fell. Fucking shit happened. And the planet doesn't know about it. So the droids are just droids. They're following protocol. They continue building wealth. They continue generating gold. So you see these massive, warehouses of credits. But none of the rest of the universe is in line with this. And no one planeticide knows about it. I like that sort of lost world aspect of it. Because I feel like that would actually fucking happen. And humans who had abdicated their authority to droids are now at the mercy of the droids. Kind of like that too. And like that supervisor, that's got to be a droid, right?
Oh, it has to be.
Like, I want this to be like the droid Gatra so bad. Where it's like a human that was like tormented and ripped to pieces and become a droid.
Right.
Oh, dude.
I will not say that would make this good.
Right.
But I'm also not going to argue that the first on-screen visage of the droid Gatra wouldn't make my day.
It'd be a pretty dope ending.
Yeah. Like, it wouldn't make any fucking sense at all, of course. Yeah. But neither has the rest of the show. So, whatever.
Yeah. If we're already at a net zero, I mean, what?
Right. A win's a win.
Yeah. I would like that a lot. I would like to see like a mutilated humanoid effigy.
Right.
Like being like the facilitator of this planet. And then as soon as everyone finds out, they're like, what the? I love that idea. It won't happen.
No, of course not. It'll be Jeff Goldblum reprising his role as the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my gosh, do you think?
No.
He's done it twice. Why not a third?
Right. Yeah, I have a feeling that's how it's going to be with the supervisor, because he's like some mythical creature that nobody's ever actually talked to in person.
Like, any non-essential people are now henceforth on vacation. Oh, the supervisor has spoken. And all these people are literally just at the mercy. You droids never listen. You don't listen, droids. You built them to be like that, you fucking shit asses. Like,
right.
Your fucking forefathers did this. Like, this is you deserve this. You haven't risen up. At least in Dune, they rose up against the machines and like got rid of them. You just like live it. You're just like, oh, okay.
Well, and unfortunately, that's the reality of the world. Like, that's where this becomes a real subject, because, we're falling into that right now, where people are like, give me convenience or give me death.
AI, yeah, we are doing everything we can to automate everything we can. In the meantime, losing what it means to be us. All of those mistakes and errors that we complain about, that's what makes us human, is that we learn from those and we build on those and we, sort of improve and move on and adapt and overcome. But we can't do that if we're not given the opportunity, and we stagnate as a species and we die. We go the way of the dodo. But we don't care because let's make more corporate profit. That's all that matters.
Right.
Hence this show.
Yeah.
Fuckers. It all comes full circle. I mean, that was kind of the episode.
That was.
Really
I mean, the kids got home.
Yeah.
John got his money.
Woo. He ignited his lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. No, he scared the kids with the lightsaber.
Boo.
Which, like, come on, dude. It's like, I don't know. That was. It used to be, if I saw a lightsaber in anything, it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like they're not even intimidating. Like, at all. There's so. Almost every single new series that comes out makes them less and less the lethal, mythical weapon that we held them to be for decades. Like, you don't die from them.
Nope.
There's tons of things more than just Beskar that can protect you from them.
Yeah.
And apparently anybody can fucking wield them.
Yeah.
Even though it used to be one of those things where if you built a lightsaber, that lightsaber was custom to you, and only strong Force users could figure out how to utilize it if they were lucky.
Yeah.
Now it's just a knife.
What the hell? Do you
Oh, what the fuck was that? You got a ghost?
Jeez.
Did the ghost come to your house instead of mine?
It's moved. It jumped to the screen. No, they fucking volume control here. What frustrates me a little bit about it is that you can scare children just by being a physical presence. You don't have to wave around a laser sword like an asshat. You can just yell at them and make them cry like he did. And that's enough.
Real fucking easy.
I do it every day.
Yeah, especially homeboy whose name I'll never remember, the crybaby one. Like, he's always crying anyways. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
All you got to do is say, "Hey, Mom." And he cries.
That's so dirty.
It is.
Like, I mean, I can't. Really sad, actually.
I was gonna say I can't really talk shit 'cause I'm kind of the same way, but still, like, you don't have to go through the theatrics to make them shit their pants.
Yeah,
they're fucking children at the end of the day.
I did like that line at the beginning. He's like, "There's 4 scared children on board. Go get them." It's just like, fucking, where have you been? For 6 episodes, dude.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. Now he's an actual pirate.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. We're getting something.
It's so ridiculous.
Only took an entire season of a show.
This long for him to just be like a normal human. I just don't understand it at all.
Right.
And then fucking, I can't, I mean, I don't want to like shit on every single character, but I can't see fucking Urkel without just, he needs some cheese. Dude. He needs cheese. Someone give this man some cheese.
Yeah, man. It's so unfortunate because I understand they wanted to bring him in and give him a role, but put a goddamn helmet on him or something. Yep. Like, he's just got too recognizable of a face to be anything other than Urkel.
Yeah. It's hard. It's rough. And I feel for him as an actor, like as a, not because I'm one, but just like, I feel for a professional in an industry who just can't seem to get another break because they're sort of typecast or stuck in whatever. I get it. And I can, I sympathize with that, but you're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah. Like, especially the really bad voice. Like, that's like if I started talking like this for a role, nobody's going to believe that shit.
We leave that for the role-playing table.
Exactly.
Where we can laugh at ourselves in the moment instead of like pretending we're serious.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's quite unfortunate. I was really hoping I was going to be wrong about Darth Urkel being a pointless character.
Darth Urkel.
But he's a pointless character.
Yeah. I do kind of like the Maori, are they called Maori? The New Zealander people?
Maori?
Is it Maori?
Maori.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
The Maori woman, the clone. I like that there's a female clone. Like, it seems like, first of all, all life is female. It takes an extra chromosome to be a man. So the default setting of all life, as far as humans are concerned, I should say, is, and probably other species too, but for humans for sure, is female. So we need to stop pretending that they're like less than or something, because they're the beginning.
Yeah, we're literally just failed females at birth.
Yeah.
That's all men are.
Yeah. We're aberrations of the original. We got some extra junk and it just hangs between our legs vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the idea that there's like the cloners were just like, how about we just make some girls and have them like be badasses? I think that's kind of cool.
It's like, we made Omega and that was a fucking mistake.
Yeah,
let's make some good ones.
What if that is Omega? She's like all grown up.
I would be so pissed.
That could be Omega. Oh my gosh. What if that's Omega? Can we find out her name? Like, what is her name? If it's Omega, I'm going to lose my mind.
All right,
Watch it be like beef.
Probably.
Meats.
No, I don't remember. He does say it a few times.
Anyway, I mean, whatever it is, I don't care. But like, I know there's going to be some ass hats. They're just like, there's no female clones. But I like it. I think it's cool. And I like that she's all pissy and like fucking mean and shit.
There fucking are, because,
That's
Omega.
Life. That's easy. That's life. That's how it works. I love the description on some of these too. Voice of a greasy pirate customer. Greasy.
And it was so stupid that he had his fucking helmet back just to have it punched in.
Yeah.
And then it was
just
gone
so
at the end of the episode.
Survive the punch. That was the only reason it was there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have broke his jaw.
That was so
or
dumb.
something. I don't know. Like, as much as I complain about this episode, I don't have a favorite episode, but this might be close to what I would consider a favorite, because it had moments in it that I really did like.
Yeah, that's the thing with this one. Like, this is the first time I've watched this show and been like, I don't hate myself after this. Like, it wasn't good.
Yeah, no.
But it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Like, I've watched worse shows. I watched so many episodes of Briscoe County Jr. So many. Which I, for the most part, enjoyed. But not all of them.
No,
not the hundreds of episodes I watched of that fucking show. They weren't all good. And this was sort of in line with that. It's like, wow, this sucks. But, it's not as bad as the others. So I'll give it that. Am I not merciful? It's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know, man. There's only one episode left. So there's nothing that the show can do to make me be like, this was great. Because I already know what's in the mail. But I am super stoked it's going to be over.
Yep. I cannot wait to never talk about this or watch it ever again.
And I don't know why we're so, we hate ourselves so much. That we have to do this stuff that we don't enjoy.
Yeah.
We just torture ourselves because of this idea of Star Wars. We're just like, we love it. And so we want to like be involved. And even when it's horrid, like objectively bad, we're just like, we're going to stick it in. We're going to stay here. Just in case. Like there's something wrong with us is what I'm getting at. Something broken within us.
Sorry, I'm still trying to find her fucking name. Like, I know.
You're stuck.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, I know that he said it.
Yeah, he did.
Multiple times this episode, but I can't for the life of me fucking find it. So, whatever. I'm done trying to look this up. Yeah, right. It's something that original.
Awesome if it was Omega, though. Oh, I'd love that so much. She turns into this jaded, pissed off pirate.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like the timeline would be off because this is 9 years after the Battle of Yavin.
Right.
And Battle of Yavin, she would have been, what, 12? So, I mean, that would make her like 21. So it's like...
That's way off.
Yeah.
But clones do age faster.
Not her.
Why not?
That's why she was the Omega and Boba Fett was the Alpha. Because she was the only other clone of Jango Fett's that was a traditional person clone, not a...
Yeah. Well, fuck that then. Fuck that character.
All Maoris are the same, apparently. They're all just Tamora Morrison or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, it's him or nothing. It's funny because I I loved him until I saw him do that Wampa writing thing in Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, and I was just like, "Fuck you, dude! What are you doing? Like, come on! You look like an ass."
Yeah.
Like that show had some good moments, and I desperately wish it was better because I really do like Tamora Morrison. Like I like his acting. I like his character of Boba Fett and Jango Fett, but that was garbage.
Yeah, and the thing is, I love the idea of it
Yeah.
too. Like we're getting, back to what the first planet we were ever known to in Star Wars lore, and it had potential, and it just kind of sucked. And then to have the ending that it had that hasn't tied into shit since,
no reason.
So dumb.
But I did hear a rumor that Mando is going to get another season now. Like
I don't understand
talked
that.
about how it wouldn't, and it was just gonna be a film. But now they're talking about no, let's give it another season. They recast the lightsaber bad guy in Ahsoka. So Ahsoka 2 is coming out. So we have that to look forward to bitch about.
Yeah, probably.
And that also had some really good stuff in it, but it also had some nonsense. And that's I think that's the most important thing that we as Star Wars fans need to be able to admit. Like, we traditionally have shit on like a sequential number of films or a whole entirety of a series and just being like, this is hot garbage. And for the most part, yeah, it can be, and it has been. But even, we did this whole sequel trilogy, like what we like about these films. There are elements, and to what we were saying early on this episode, there's artistry involved. There are people of significance and talent involved in these shows, which may not end up being good, but we can still appreciate the Star Wars elements and the care and like genuine love of those people that went into it, and not tear down the entirety of what it is in order to celebrate what this thing, the elements of this thing that is. I guess, I don't know if I'm being clear about that, but let's just not throw the baby out with the bathwater when we're talking about Star Wars, and just focus on what is great, and then just not be super critical when people say something's bad, because it is. For fuck's sake.
Well, and it's fucking subjective anyways.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, there's plenty of shit that I love, like absolutely am obsessed with, that admittedly is terrible, and I can understand why people don't like it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. We're entitled to our opinions. And you know what? If you don't agree with us, cool. Good for fucking you. I wish I could like this shit. I can't. I have been trying.
I've got to call my sister after this because somehow my phone accepted a phone call when we were talking. And she was like trying to talk to me while we're like, I'm bitching.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to call her back. All right. So, did you have a favorite part of this episode?
Yeah, man. It was like perfect timing to off the werewolf, because up until this episode, he has been a threat. He's been like the real big bad of the show, and then this episode, it's like, God, he kind of fucking sucks. So, seeing him get popped right in the face, and everybody just being like, Yep, you're captain now, buddy. I got you. Like, that was pretty good. I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite part too. Just to see an actual consequence of any sort, but something that brutal on a kid's show. Like, he literally brained a dude in front of him, point blank. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Well, they did it the smart way too, which it was safe for the kids, but it was also better for people with good fucking imagination because they didn't show him dying.
Yeah. Yeah. I just imagine that wolf skull busted apart.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Or at least with a clean hole. Stick your finger through it. Boop.
Well, or, wait till everybody's gone and then.
Oh, jeez. I know where you're going. Did you have a least favorite? This is why we get demonetized, by the way. Not what you said specifically, but the general.
No, we can blame it on me. It's cool. I get it.
It's all you. Yeah.
I don't know. Least favorite. It's hard to say what my least favorite was because there's so much that's stupid. Like, I guess if I had to pick one thing that really, really got under me and has bothered me since I watched it last night, has been the fact that the kids were bitch. Well, not the kids, specifically fucking crybaby Magoo, bitching about going home. Oh, I don't want to go home. The last fucking 6 episodes, all was, I want to go home. Like, goddamn, nothing pleases this fucking kid.
I mean, he is a kid.
I know. That's
there's
the reason I didn't have any.
They don't know fucking shit about shit. Yeah, I think my least favorite was the sun issue. That really bothered me. As soon as they got through that barrier and there was light, I was just like, fuck off. How the hell? You don't understand science. Fuckers. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter how tiny the sun would be. It would be larger. Or if it was that close, it would fry the whole planet. Mm-hmm. We only have to look at our own solar system to understand distance and scale for life to exist. It's called a Goldilocks zone for a reason. And you have to be in that specific place for any semblance of life that we can understand, and certainly that is presented on screen to exist. That was not it. So
yeah, definitely not.
Hate it. And the fact that you can just blow up those satellites and the barrier.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a threat. So like, especially because it was all like, oh, all you got to do is get an emissary ship. Mm-hmm. Cool. You just load up on shit in that ship, drop it off, come back, go back and forth. Like, no one has fucking weapons. Like, just take over the goddamn planet. That's not that big of a deal.
Kind of cool.
It would
flood the imperial market. The Muns would be like losing their shit.
Yeah.
Where did all these extra credits come from? What the fuck is happening?
Right.
That'd be great, actually.
I'm so kind of pissed about that, not actually seeing any Muns on the fucking spa planet.
Yeah.
That would have been the only cool thing they could have done.
They just like pop in the same frame from Acolyte, but just like at the Mun or at the
right. He's got a Mai Tai in his hand.
And it's not even in his head, it's just like floating next to his head. You're like, well, we did what we could. What do you want? Man. We didn't have any
That'd
money.
Be fucking good. Actually be terrible, but so I would have laughed my ass off.
Oh man, that would have been my favorite moment if that happened for this episode. All right, well, is there anything else for this?
No, man, we definitely got it covered.
Thank you all so very much for tuning in, both live and chat or after the fact. We invite you to subscribe to this channel and click the bell to get notified about our next video. You can now support the Infernal Brotherhood through YouTube membership starting at 99 cents a month. That's right. You can either feed starving children in Africa or be a member.
Yeah. And eventually we can buy a cake.
Yeah. And then eat it in front of those children that are starving in Africa. No, we wouldn't do that. No. I mean, I guess literally we are if they have internet service.
That's true.
But they're just like, yeah, fuck those kids. No, I'm just kidding. All right, consider picking up some custom designed Star Wars apparel. What? I just have a Frankenstein Monster Tree shirt on. I'm a loser. Consider picking up that apparel because it's awesome, and you know you want it. So,
fuck yeah, you do.
Fucking why not? Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy looking Nerf Herders. May the Force be with you.
We're pirate meat.
Actually, could be like a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, not for the kids, of course. Definitely the pirates.
Right.
Like, it's a long pork feast. Yeah, that line, it was just like, man, you just said we're dead meat.